And welcome back. Well, the White House is now calling added details to a proposed prisoner release swap with Russia for basketball star Brittney Griner and former Marine Paul Whelan, a bad faith attempt by Russia to avoid the deal on the table. ABC's Kristen Sloan has the latest.
A possible setback in the effort to bring detained Americans Brittney Griner and Paul Whelan home. The White House is shooting down a Russian official's idea to add another prisoner to a proposed swap, Vadim Krasikov. He's a convicted Russian hitman in German custody. The White House said, quote, holding two wrongfully detained Americans hostage for an assassin that's in a third country is not a serious counteroffer. The statement came after U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken spoke with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov about the possible deal.
We had a frank and direct conversation. I pressed the Kremlin to accept the substantial proposal that we put forth.
Sources tell ABC News that proposal is to swap Griner and Whelan for Russian arms dealer Viktor Bout, who is in a U.S. prison. After the call, Blinken didn't provide many details about what the Russians said in response.
He was very clear. He also said he is not delusional, and we expect conversations and negotiations to continue.
But Moscow says Lavrov did ask the U.S. to return to, quote, quiet diplomacy after the White House announced an offer was on the table. Until the deal is finalized, the family of Paul Whelan is slow to celebrate. Paul's brother David releasing a statement to ABC News saying, quote, I don't anticipate seeing any movement for months, or at least not until Ms. Griner's case has concluded. Christine Sloan, ABC News, New York.
And prisoner swaps with Russia or other nations to free Americans is a reoccurring event throughout history. We take an in-depth look at a report from the New York Times and have details on some of the most well-known prisoner swaps in our history. In 1985, the United States engaged in what one American official called the biggest spy swap in memory. 4 Eastern Europeans held in the United States for espionage were traded for 25 people imprisoned in East Germany and Poland. Then in 2014, the Taliban released Sergeant Bo Bergdahl, who had been held for 5 years after walking off his army base in Afghanistan. He was later swapped for the 5 Taliban detainees. And earlier this year, Kern County native Trevor Reed, a former U.S. Marine held for 2 years in Russia on charges of assault, was released in April in a prisoner swap involving a Russian pilot convicted of cocaine trafficking charges.